Welcome to Protekt GPS tracking systems and pre-starts. In this tutorial, we'll guide you through accessing trip history for an individual vehicle in your fleet. In this tutorial, we'll cover trip history, how to track past journeys taken by specific vehicles, monitor speeding events, how to identify instances of speeding for better safety and compliance, highlight routes, how to view the exact path a vehicle has taken, and tracking idle and travel time, how to measure time spent idling versus active driving to improve efficiency. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to use the trip history feature to monitor and optimize vehicle performance. Let's get started.
I'm Tristan from Protekt GPS, and in this video we're going to have a look at how to access the trip history for an individual vehicle. So from your home screen here, the fleet screen, we're going to select the vehicle that we're interested in, which in this case is the Jeep. So we'll just click on that on the right hand side over here, and that'll take us into the device details screen. This will show us the current location of the vehicle, and over here on the right menu we can just click on the trip history button here. That'll pop out this menu here. Now we've got some date controls here, so we can look at today's trips, yesterday's trips, or we can pick a day. I'm interested in today's trip, so we'll have a look at that. And we've got some options for how the trip will be displayed, but we'll look at those in a second. So we've got two types of trips here. We've got park trips where the vehicle is stationary, or we've got driving trips where the vehicle is moving. So we can see here we've got the start address and the end address. So we'll just click on this one here, and that'll load the path that the vehicle's taken to get there. So we can see where it started and where it ended. Now this is a pretty normal map, so we can zoom and we can look around. We can zoom in and we can see different parts. We can see events here as well that have happened during the trip. And we can also play back the vehicle's trip. So if we want to press play down here, we can get a little animation for the vehicle, which direction it's taken. And we can change the playback speed there, although I personally prefer to scrub through it like this. Then I don't have to wait for it to play back. Now there's another thing we can notice here. There's a little red section right there. And what that red section shows us is that Matt's been naughty on this drive and he's gone over the vehicle's speed limit. So we've set the speed limit quite low so that we've got something to look at there. So he's only done 67, but that's high enough that it's gone over the vehicle speed limit that we've set, so we can see that there. So if we zoom back out, there's a couple of other controls over here I mentioned before. We've got route highlighting. So at the moment we're just going start to end, so the colour of the line changes from the start to the end of the trip. But there are other ways we can look at that. So we can look here on speed. Now we're obviously going quite slowly here on this trip, but we can see how it's coloured based on the speed that the vehicle's going at. So over here down the bottom left we've got a legend there. So if we're going around 100, we'd see sort of start creeping into the orange-red there. It can be helpful if you're looking at a long trip and you're wondering if there are any areas where the vehicle's been going a little bit too fast. We can also use this tool here as a way to look at the idle and the travel speed of the vehicle. So this is colouring now based on how slowly or any delay periods in the trip. So again, we've got moving is green and orange is idle. Now if we zoom in here, you can see there's a bit where he's been forced to drive very slowly there for about a minute or so as he's come up, and he's obviously run into a little bit of traffic. And then if we have a look at the other end of the trip, we can see that there's a little orange patch there where he's been stationary, so he's let the vehicle idle for about a minute at the end of the trip. Now that's configurable, so if we aren't interested in slow traffic periods like this one here, we can wind that up a little bit so that we're not seeing that anymore. And we'll see, looks like he was idling for a little bit longer at the end of the trip, so he was at least 2 minutes there with that orange section. That could be helpful if you're concerned that you've got, for example, work vehicles that are sitting off the side of the road on the way to a job for no apparent reason. It can be quite helpful to be able to have a look at that visually and find any idle periods that are unexpected there. So that's how you can look through the trip history of a vehicle. The only other thing we've really got is up the top there's a little bit of a summary which will tell you how far the trip was, how long it took, the fuel consumed if your vehicle supports that, and the average speed. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.